This is Capital Games Movie Club. I am the Wiz.
And I am Kim Shactman.
Kim, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Oh my god, that's not good. you had an interesting week at work, and then you're gonna go sailing on your yacht for the remainder of the week. So yeah, you're set this week. Jesus.
Yeah, I wish it was a yacht. No, I'm gonna go clean the boat.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna have your orderlies, and you're gonna scrub down the mast. What are the other terms? The boat head? Is that one? What?
God, I have no idea.
How do you not know that?
I don't own a yacht. What do you think I am? Like, I'm making money off this podcast?
You do other things. God, okay, whatever.
We own I think it's like a 26-foot boat.
That's better than most boats I have.
That we put in the lake.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So I'll be
nice.
cleaning the boat this weekend.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? How are you doing? A little tired today, right?
This has been a rough week. People who follow the podcast have known I've had it pretty rough this week. At least trying to get the podcast out. It's not been great, but I did something on the new Zelda that's out this week. It's this Friday, and I'm gonna do the weekly dividend Saturday. So, yeah, I mean,
It's a lot of work.
yeah.
Podcasts are a lot of work. People don't always realize
Yes,
it.
that is true. Most of the work is behind the scenes. I think is what
Yeah.
people realize, because a lot of people look at the podcast and, oh, it's just you bullshitting and talking to people.
You're just
I'm like,
talking, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
well-
well, what about all the editing? And it's a lot.
It's the rest of the stuff, especially if you're the one running it. So, like, if I
Exactly.
I have to do thumbnails and editing and all that stuff. And,
I have it super easy.
oh yeah,
I just jump on and chat with my good friend.
yeah, right. Wait, who's that?
It's
Who's
very
that?
enjoyable. It's the Wiz. It's very
Oh, yeah?
enjoyable for me, but for you, you're like, oh God.
I gotta listen to this woman twice. God damn it.
So listen to this bitch, and then I gotta edit her out, and then make her look sound really good, and doing all the work.
Yeah. Hey, but this is why I do it. Like, I love with
You
you and
love it.
Zero. I love doing this and love doing it with you guys specifically. And I want to do it with people I respect and love. So I got to do that. So that's great.
Aww.
Yeah. And that guy would do with you too. But anyway, no kidding. Kidding.
Flowing right into the mushiness with the movie we just watched.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are reviewing the movie we just watched this week. Always Be My Maybe from 2019, the Netflix romantic comedy, starring Ali Wong and Randall Park, directed by Nahnatchka Khan. I think I got that right this time. I think I did.
Yeah, that's a tough name to say.
It really... I'm just doing it phonetically. Watch...
Yeah,
Just,
Nahnatchka.
just watch someone's actually, the N and the T are silent, so you actually got it wrong. So, okay, fine. Sorry. But
It's
yeah.
all good.
Right.
But don't you always want to say, like, always be my baby and not always be my maybe? Because I keep wanting to say that.
Yes, and one of the few things I liked about this movie is the end song, which,
Yeah.
me being a person who really liked early Mariah Carey was like, okay.
Mariah.
I
idolized her when I was young.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
God, her songs, man.
When
Okay.
when she first came out, she was
Yeah.
great. Now she sucks. But anyways,
That's a little harsh, really.
she kind of does. She kind of does. Like, her music's really not that good now. But in her heyday, she was great.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not a fan of her more hip-hop infused stuff now, but, like, there's some okay ones in there. But, yeah, but I'm with you. I prefer the old stuff myself.
Yeah, old school Mariah.
Right. Okay, so...
We just totally digressed.
Sure,
there.
why not? It's not odd, in a sense, to know that women specifically like romance and romantic comedies. So,
I was curious what your thoughts were, like initial thoughts on this movie.
like, from watching it, or
Yeah.
well, I was gonna get into fine. Let's just we'll get out of that
Just
part.
like, you know what I'm saying? Just like a quick, like at the beginning, because you usually ask me like, "What did you think of this movie?"
Oh, okay. I did not like this at all.
Oh, you didn't?
I did not.
Oh, I'm surprised. I thought you would like it, like a little.
Ooh, yeah.
I really liked it.
I had some major issues with this movie, but well, major's not fair because that would denote that I hated this movie, which I didn't. I just was kind of like, okay, when is this over? Like,
oh, kind of like how I was with Big Lebowski.
Yeah, kind of. But again, I will get into that.
Okay.
You know, screw it. Let's just get into it.
I was jumping the gun on you.
That's fine. The preamble that I had was kind of mishy-mashy, so I think it's better that we just move on and get into the review of Always Be My Baby, starring Ali Wong and Randall Park, directed by Nahnatchka Khan. I'm not too thrilled with this movie. After the movie was over, I sat there going, huh, so Kim wanted to see a good movie, huh? Let's see how she thinks of it.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Like, I didn't like love it. Like, I've seen like better romantic comedies, but like,
sure,
I thought it was kind of refreshing.
Okay. We can really dive in with it, but my issue with the movie specifically that I had, well, it's twofold. One, I could care less about almost all the characters in this movie, like including one of the leads. Like, I just sat there going, "Oh God, ugh!" Like this
Which
is like
lead?
Ali Wong's character.
Oh, Sasha.
I did not like Sasha in this movie, and it's not like I didn't like the actress. I think the actress is actually pretty good, but the character that she's playing, I'm
curious. Why didn't you like her character?
Well, this it also has a lot to do with the comedy itself with this movie, and the type of comedy this is. It's very quippy. It's supposed to be very intelligent and witty, and I just was feeling none of it. The person that's supposed to be the intelligent and witty and charming one, which is Sasha, is the one I felt was like the least charming of any of the characters. I found her to be kind of grating at times. At the end of the movie, I just sat there wondering, is this what younger people think is good comedy now? Because, man, I'm screwed. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it's definitely like a new type of comedy, I feel like. It's like almost like something different, like the wittiness and such. But I don't know. I didn't really view Sasha as needing to be like charming and humorous. I actually felt she was just more of this like really, the character herself was just more of this like really powerful female, and Marcus was actually supposed to be like the charming, like witty one. I don't know. Like, that's how I saw the movie.
I didn't see it that way though. This looked like a picture where the main character, which is Ali Wong's character, Sasha, is a character that you're not only supposed to find aspirational, but you're also supposed to find intelligent, a great person, funny, all these great things. And the only thing that she has wrong is that the man that she's with is a complete and utter douchebag. And she needs to realize that she wants to date this schleb, essentially, in order to find love and happiness. Which, you know, that's not that isn't really a different take on the romantic comedy. I know a lot of people who are like, oh wow, it's like the first time where the woman really is like the, not just the prize, but she's deciding on which person that she wants. She's a powerful person. She's an intelligent person. No, it's not different at all. There's a movie that was in the 2000s with Reese Witherspoon that did something similar to this, called, I don't think you remember this, Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh yeah, I've seen that movie like 1,000 times.
I am not saying Sweet Home Alabama is better than this. I don't think that at all. I think Sweet Home Alabama is pretty bad too.
Yeah.
But
I didn't love the movie. I just seen it because it's always on TV.
now this movie reminded me a lot of that one to a specific, to a certain extent. And the only character in this movie that I actually kind of liked, and I'm saying kind of, I wasn't like, oh, I really like this guy. Like, I only liked him a little bit, was Marcus, played by Randall Park. And it's also because I like Randall Park. Randall Park has done a few things that is actually not bad. Like, he's in a few Marvel stuff. I think he was in WandaVision, which was pretty good. And I've seen a few episodes of the show that they were on called Fresh Off the Boat. Which,
okay, yeah.
It's not bad. It's not for me. I'm gonna say that right.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it, and I heard that like a lot of people like it.
Yeah, it isn't bad. It really isn't. But I'll even admit though, it's really not for me. But for what I saw of it, it's pretty good. I actually liked it. But in this, the main character greatly rubbed me the wrong way, and this has been a thing that's been going on in movies and TV shows for like the past 5 years, I would say. And it's that they make their strong, successful girl boss female characters to be utterly unlikable. Utterly unlikable, when it's not necessary to make them that way. You can make somebody successful and aspirational and make them likable. It is possible, but in this movie, they go through the same trap of, well, we need this person to be a person that people look up to, and that she's someone who controls her own destiny, and the only way to do that is to make her a dick. And I'm looking at this, but that's not necessary in the slightest. And
But I don't know, like, I didn't really see her that way, like maybe a little bit, but I felt like she was a little bit of a dick because she was a little bit insecure.
That is true. I mean, but okay.
Like, there was a lot that went on in her childhood, and like I won't get into it too deep because of spoilers and such, but like I just feel like, you know, maybe she just kind of had a wall up because of how she was brought up.
Okay. True, but then with that specific set of circumstances, you have to put more depth into that in order for it to really justify the way that character is. Like, I can guess she's insecure, especially with what happened between her and Marcus in the beginning of the movie. Right. I can get that to a certain extent. But by the time that they meet up again, which I think is 15 years later, I'm not entirely sure if that's the...
Or they say like 16 or something, I don't know.
Okay, so with that amount of time, you would think that she'd soften, or if there is more that happened that keeps her to reinforce that behavior, why that is, things like that. Now, I'm going to just come out right and say it too, okay? A lot of you might hear that and go, okay, I think you're putting too much, like
yes. I think too that, like, I mean, I think it takes a long time for somebody to change from what happened in their childhood. And I know we're probably reading a little bit too much into this. It's just, you know, a basic rom-com, but like, I don't know. I think it is possible for somebody to still be as rigid as she is 15 years later, and I think it is possible. I mean, that doesn't mean you liked that, but it is possible. And I think, I don't know, I think it was more realistic than like just like a boring like rom-com. Like, I just felt like it was like many of the different scenes in the story, and like, I mean, there's some parts that are a little bit like, you know, okay, whatever, but like, I don't know, like, it's just how I could picture like a powerful woman, you know, dating around and then, you know, falling, you know, kind of like tripping back into a relationship from her childhood. Like, I think it could happen.
I disagree that it's more realistic, mainly because the characters are pretty one-dimensional. both Sasha and Marcus, as much as I do like Marcus, but I think I like Marcus because I like Randall Park. And I think Randall Park does a good job with the role he's given in this one. The main characters, the two ones, are the ones with any depth. Everyone else in this are literal cardboard in this. And almost every character that you see, I'm expecting at least one joke that's funny. And it's all just surface level kind of bid types of jokes
where I'm like, it's quirky. Like, I thought it was cute, and like, I thought there were some jokes I laughed at, like not like belly laughs, but I was like, oh my god, that was pretty good. Like one-liners that get delivered at the right time, and like, I don't know. I thought it was funny. I
sat there. I think I was about an hour in, and I didn't laugh.
It's not a long movie, Wiz.
And I didn't laugh.
I think it was like what, an hour and a half or an hour and
40. Hour and 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of the ways I judge about a movie is if I check the time or I check how long the movie has until it's over. And usually if I check a lot, that means I'm not enjoying myself. And I check.
See, that's how I felt with Big Lebowski. This movie, I didn't feel like that.
No, but I definitely understand that. Like, I definitely do understand that. I checked so many times. I was like, oh, God.
Oh, wow. That's too bad. Like,
oh, my God.
I enjoyed it. I felt like it was quick, too. Like, it was a quick movie, and it wasn't drawn out, and it was... I mean, I think maybe some of the acting could have been a little bit smoother and flowed a little bit better. Overall, I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again.
I mean, yeah. I do agree that I think the performances need to be a lot better, and maybe that's why maybe the writing did not click at all, because...
I thought the writing was excellent. I thought the acting wasn't that good. I liked the writing. I liked the witty one-liners and the songs that he does with his band. Like, they were hilarious. Like, I thought they were so funny.
I thought that was... Ugh. It's like,
really?
Oh my God.
I thought it was cute. I was like, that's fun. Like, some of the lyrics of his songs were really, like, witty and, like, funny. And, like, I don't know. I thought it was cute.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's great. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Like, I'm not going to be a person that, like... This used to be me way back when people was like, oh, yeah, I really enjoyed my movie. Oh, my God, how could you? Oh,
like,
it's an
we're
assault
not
to my
friends
ear.
anymore.
Yeah. Not that far, but I would give you shit for it.
Like, yeah, hardcore shit.
Oh, my God, I was terrible. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you were able to enjoy it.
I enjoyed it. I think, too, like, I mean, I don't know about you, but it's also, like, the mood I'm in, right? Like, I had a long week at work, and then I just sat down, and I wanted to watch something just really light. And it was a light movie. It was chill. I didn't have to think too much into it, and my brain, didn't... It wasn't a lot to fill my brain, and that's what I wanted at that time, so...
Yeah, I understand that, sure.
Yeah.
But that's with any type of movie, really. Like, if we watch Come and See, and you've been in a great mood all week, that would be the cruelest thing for me to do to you. Like, that
would... What is that?
Come and See is a film from 1985 that's from Russia about a child soldier in Belarus who needs to escape the Nazi regime as they're invading their country.
Oh, no.
The child soldier is 10 years old, and he's going through all sorts of things throughout the entire movie. Going through trauma, going through shell shock.
Yeah, no. If I watched that this weekend, I would be, like, probably suicidal.
It is I will say this, it is a fucking masterpiece. It is one of the best movies.
Oh, I'm sure. I feel like those type of movies usually are, if they're done well.
It is one of the best movies I've ever seen about war. It is one of the best movies I've ever seen. And I can't recommend it to anyone, because the minute you watch it, you will never forget it, and it will traumatize you. Like,
now I want to watch it.
I'll put it this way to most people. At the end of the movie, I was wondering if the actor was okay. That's how traumatizing it is. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. I want to see that for sure.
Okay. I might brave a second viewing of that, even though I've said to myself, I'm never going to do it. But we might do that. But anyway.
Okay.
Let's get past that.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So we got into the writing. I guess we'll go into the performance. Look, I like the two actors. I do like Ali Wong and Randall Park. I like Randall Park a little bit more, but I think I also like him more because I am more familiar with him. I'm not as familiar with Ali Wong.
I'm not super familiar with Ali Wong. I know Randall Park a little bit. I've seen him in, I think, a couple of TV series, and I like him too. I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah, like, he's charming in his way, but I think the other problem I had with this too is like the character of Marcus really was like he's kind of a loser.
He's a loser, yeah. Like,
but I don't buy Randall Park as a loser. That was the other thing. I was like, if I'm really supposed to be like, what is wrong with this guy? I kind of like him more than I like the Sasha character, which I think is supposed to be the exact opposite in this, or really not the exact opposite. You're supposed to like both characters. I just did not like Sasha, the character as it was written. Though I can't fault the performance of Ali Wong and Randall Park, even though they both wrote the film. I can't say that their performances are bad in this, but I think
their performances were a little bit like surface level. Like, I don't feel like they were really like, I guess, acting in depth. But then again, the writing depicts like that surface level type of acting, I guess. But sure. I enjoyed the writing. Like, I enjoyed some of the wittiness and the comebacks and the scene with, like, I don't want to spoil it. We'll get into that.
Yeah. We'll get into that with spoil. We'll probably get into that really soon. My issues stem specifically with the writing in this and the way the comedy is. The story, the story has been done. Like that's not the problem. Like, really powerful, really rich woman falls in love with somebody who is below their, I guess, pay grade. I don't know. Like that's Notting Hill, essentially. Like, I was watching this going, yeah, that's Notting Hill. I know. Yeah, great. And the ending is pretty much the same from Notting Hill too, as well, which I found was like, oh, they're doing that, huh?
Yeah, I didn't really love the ending. I'll be honest with you. Like, I didn't love that part, but I kind of liked how they brought some of the family traditions into it a little bit.
Sure.
Like, they probably could have even gone deeper with that too.
I wish they would have gotten to that much more, because it just seemed like in the beginning that was really important to both characters.
Like, as they were growing.
But then, I guess either they thought, well, we don't want to alienate most of the audience,
right?
But it would have given a lot more to that movie than it did, I would say. But that's me. I do think, too, it's just supposed to be like a lighthearted, like... Sure.
Rom-com. I don't think it's supposed to be in depth, I guess.
And that's fine. You can have that, but then you're utterly relying on either the writing or the actors to carry the film.
Right.
And it's really hard and as much as I think these actors are good, I don't think they're good enough to carry a film that I think the script is just not helping them. And I don't think the script did at this point, especially Ali Wong. And I know she wrote the film, but I think, to me, she wrote herself a role that I think with a more seasoned actress could have pulled it off, but I don't think she did in this one. But she's also a comedian. Like, I think she's a comedian first.
Right,
so
right.
She's
she
not
is
a trained actor.
First, for sure.
So she's not a trained actor. That's fine. But
it tells you a lot.
Yeah. But with that case, if you're writing a film for yourself and for yourselves, you write based on your strengths. You don't write in the sense where you can expose yourself to that kind of thing. And you know what? I think I'm an outlier. I'm looking at the rating on IMDb. It's a 6.7, which is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. And people do tend to like this movie, so it's fine.
So on IMDb, what's obviously 10 is the best rating, but what's an average rating? Would you say middle of the road?
6.
6. Okay.
I mean, we can be literal about it and say 5 because 5 is average.
I'm asking what you've seen, because you've seen so many more movies than I have.
Yeah, I would say probably in the 6s. That would be
the average, yeah.
The average that I think it would be in this one. So, but yeah, when I saw
maybe there's just a lot of females that have seen it and rated it, because I enjoyed it.
That's possible. That certainly is possible. And it is completely okay for a movie to be for a certain gender, and that's perfectly fine.
Right.
Like, it is. But what's funny with me, and something you've known about me for a long time, is that the films that seem to be for females, I actually like a lot more than the ones that are for my gender. That's something that's happened a lot in my life, where like I've told you in the past, I've had to convince male friends who are film buff to watch Notting Hill because I think it was an excellent movie. Like, oh, that's like a romantic comedy. Ew. I'm like,
yeah, but I feel like that's a more like heavier romantic comedy. Whereas like this movie, like after we're done this podcast, I'm gonna text my best friend and I'm gonna say, hey, you should check out this movie. Like, it's such a like quick watch and I think you'll enjoy it. Because like her and I, we go back and forth on like, oh my God, like look at this cute romantic comedy or this romantic movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those movies where you just like share with your best girlfriend and say like, oh my God, you should watch this. Like,
just get my chicas and let them know what's going on.
Yeah, like they're like, oh my God, like you should watch this when you know what it is. This is one of those movies where it's like you should watch this when your husband's gone or at work or doing something. You know what I mean? Like my husband would never watch this movie with me. He'd be like, this is garbage. Get this off the TV. Like,
good man.
Yeah, literally, he'd be like,
good
what
man.
The hell is this? Like, no. But if I called my friend and I was like, oh my God, did you see that movie? She'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, oh, it was so cute. She'd be like, yeah, it was. You know? Yeah. It's one of those. It wouldn't really be a movie that would like stay with us where we'd be like, oh my God, remember that movie? Like, I'd be like, no, I don't really remember this movie, but I thought it was cute.
Utterly forgettable. Like, utterly forgettable. Yeah, and that's fine. Like, there's no problem with, I would say, disposable entertainment. We have plenty of it at this point. But yeah, I didn't laugh once in this movie, and I can
say I chuckled here and there. Like it wasn't like full blown belly laughs, but there was a couple things I chuckled at.
Yeah, let me be honest. I think I laughed once, and it was basically at a point in the movie where we're like, oh, they're doing this. Okay.
A disgusted laugh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Right.
Now, can I ask you a question? I don't know many of them, but the director, like I looked her up and she hasn't really done much, right? Like that I've seen.
Looks like she's done more TV than anything.
Yeah, like I know American Dad. I've seen that. That's funny.
Yeah. Executive producer of Young Rock. She's executive produced some of Ali Wong's comedy specials.
Yeah, so a lot of TV. I think almost everything is almost TV. Yeah. Yeah,
producer of not bad shows. Like Don't Trust the Bee and Apartment 23 is actually pretty good.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle.
I liked that show. I thought it was funny.
I mean, what possibly could have happened with her in this? Let me see what she's directed. An episode of Young Rock, the Ali Wong special, Fresh Off the Boat. Yeah.
Not much.
Okay, here's the thing that I will say, though. I mean, it is true that women have a harder time making movies and getting their projects off the ground than men do in Hollywood. It is true. Like,
why is that? Just because of the gender, or like?
So people who are obviously mad about this and think that it needs to change are going to say it's sexism. I don't think that's the case. I think it's because they don't make as much money. They don't make as much ratings. Anything that's female focused, unless it's in a female focused demographic and a channel that is female focused specifically, doesn't necessarily make a lot of money, especially movies. Like movies, which is really strange to say, but if you entirely focus it on just females, you have a less likeliness to have men watch it with females. And when do females watch movies the most? Dates.
Right.
If they're not convincing their man or the person that they're dating to see it with them, they're likely not seeing it unless they have a girls' night out with other women. And you being a female, when do you have girls? I know
all about that. It's tough because,
Yes.
Even a date night even includes, hanging out at your house every night with your spouse. And he's always here, so like
Right.
I'm not gonna watch it with him.
But let's also think about like high schoolers, because the people that most watch movies are high schoolers and college students as well. They're the ones that watch the most movies in this. But the results are the same. The women will not, or the girls will only see these movies, or not only see them, are more likely to see these movies if they are seeing it with a man. And a man will be willing to watch it as long as it's not too
If
girly.
he knows he's gonna get laid.
That too. That too. Of course, I'm the weird one who would.
I'm just thinking back to like my high school days, and I'm like I'd always go over guys' houses and hang out. And what do you want to watch? Oh, I don't know. I really love this movie, and it's some like cheesy girl movie. And they're like, okay, let's watch it. And then halfway through, it's like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Smoochy, and let's forget the movie.
Right. What I always found funny about this, because in high school, I actually really liked romantic comedies. It was one of the things that I liked watching. So when girls would be like, yeah, I kind of just want to see this romantic comedy. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But deep down, I'm like, yes. Finally, I wanted to watch this movie.
So funny.
Yeah.
And you're like, and I don't have, you're like, oh, I can watch it. And then afterwards just act like I didn't really like it, but I really did.
If you know me, Kim, I'm terrible at lying. So
that is true.
And since we've never met in person, the one thing that I am not good at is hiding my distaste and dislike of something.
Your expression.
Oh my god, yes. So if I don't like something, again, I guess it's apparently obvious. When I went on date, and this is why when I go on dates, I refuse to go see movies unless I've been with the person for a long time, and they know when I have these expressions on my face, it's not like, oh god, I'm having a terrible time. It's more like,
right.
Oh, I gotta think about this when I get home. But yeah, that would always be a problem with me in dating. It would always be like, yeah, there's this cute comedy in one of these. Oh yeah, that's cool. And I would earn points because, oh, he seems okay with seeing romantic comedies. This guy might be a keeper. And deep down, I'm like, yeah, I wanted to see that for a couple weeks now.
You're like, oh my god, he's so sweet. He wants to watch what I want to watch.
I know. Oh, he just wants to make me happy. It was like,
yeah, exactly. That's what the girl thinks when they're that age. Oh my god, he's just letting me pick the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But right. So let's just get into spoilers.
Yeah, we're just shooting the shit at this point.
Why not? So we're gonna get the spoilers for Always Be My Maybe, the 2019 film directed by Nahnatchka Khan, starring Ali Wong and Randall Park. If you haven't seen it, you can come back when you're ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, what? Okay, what happened?
Nothing. I just know you're gearing up to be like, I freaking hate this movie.
I don't hate it, but it's a movie that it takes.
I enjoyed it.
Good for you.
I really liked even the parents in it, the family dynamic and the dad.
Sure.
And one of the funny scenes that I really liked is when Marcus is in his room and he's smoking weed and the dad comes in and the dad's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm smoking weed and I'm dancing. Do you want to dance with me? And he starts dancing really stupidly. I don't know. It's just cute.
Sure. And I don't mind movies like that. But problem with these types of movies really is if it's going to be that surface level, you really need to nail the comedy. You need to nail the certain aspect of the movie.
You were looking for a better way to deliver the humor. It sounds like.
I was looking for better humor, to be completely honest.
No, I know.
I was looking at
I thought it was funny. I thought the Keanu Reeves scene was really funny.
Well, you want to get to that?
He was such a douche, but I don't know. I just.
Okay, so
I thought he was just so stupid.
You're ready to hear me piss off the internet in a collective?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited. Let's go.
Keanu Reeves is not a good actor.
Oh no, I don't think he is either.
But everyone thinks he does.
I've never been a Keanu Reeves fan. I just thought he was funny in this little cameo he has because he is just stupid in it. And
But it's not believable in the slightest. And what makes those things funny when actors play themselves, but in a ridiculous sort of way, is that you have to believe it to a certain extent. And Keanu Reeves is not a good enough actor to where you can believe him acting that way and being that way. And also because, I'm a little more inside baseball with acting and with the movies and stuff. And Keanu Reeves has one of the best reputations when it comes to actors. Everyone loves working with him. He is super supportive of everybody.
Well, he's very, down to earth.
Yes, especially with what he's been through. And to see him in this role, acting this way, at first I was like, this could be interesting. This could really,
Oh, he's wicked stupid in it. He's just, not funny. He's not funny, but it's I don't know. I found it amusing.
But that's the problem. He's not funny in this. It's
but
not.
Maybe I found it amusing because I was like, wow, his acting in this sucks so bad.
It's so bad.
And that's why I thought it was funny. I was like, oh wow, he just really sucks in this one scene. But I don't know. But I dug deep and I found it funny at how much he sucked, if that makes sense.
I mean, if you want to go for the Room method to enjoy that, that's fine. Oh, you don't know what the Room is. Oh, we got to watch that. But anyway, with this specific thing, the first thing that this reminded me of, remember Neil Patrick Harris and Harold and Kumar?
Yes, I've seen that movie so many times.
Okay.
Too.
That is believable, even though that Neil Patrick Harris is gay in real life. And he's apparently a very respectful, nice guy. I believed in that movie he was a complete psycho perv. And it was brilliant.
Yeah, he did do that really well. He
did so damn well. Keanu in this being the typical, not even just typical, but exaggerated version of the Hollywood douchebag who
he was
speaks in tongues and speaks in buzzwords.
Yeah.
I did not buy this at all. He felt uncomfortable in this. It was more like the director didn't say, hey, be an exaggerated version of yourself.
Right.
It was more like, hey, be a complete fucking douchebag who just so happens to be Keanu Reeves. And here's Keanu Reeves going, whoa, am I really a douchebag? And no, Keanu, you're not. But I just don't buy that at all in this. And he's just not a good enough actor for me to believe that he can be that way, especially in this ridiculous sense. Those scenes, because I think it's 2 scenes in this.
Yeah, when they're at the restaurant and then when they're
at the hotel.
A hotel or whatever.
Yeah, I just was like, I get what they were doing in this, but it just fell incredibly flat. And at that point, I was like, oh, okay. I'm just not liking this movie. This movie is just not for me.
I guess, I didn't, again, I think it was just the mood I was in when I watched it. I was just kind of, taking it for what it was. I was like,
right.
Oh, this is just, kind of stupid, but I think it's kind of funny. I don't know. It was very, light to me. I didn't read too much into it.
I didn't go into this film expecting Gilda or Nahnatchka. I really did not. I was like, okay, so this is probably going to be a fun, light kind of thing. Fine, that's cool. And I enjoy those movies from time to time. It's fine. But with those types of movies, the things that they are trying to do need to work flawlessly for them to actually come out on top. Not just flawless, but they need to work really well. And I think the comedy specifically did not work.
But there were some scenes I thought were funny. So I really liked at the beginning when they had sex in the car. I thought that was I thought it was funny because you know what it is for me is I thought it was funny because I was like, that is truly how you have sex in a car. They depicted that so well. Nobody's fucking comfortable in a car. Yeah. Nobody looks beautiful having sex in the car. They're hitting each other's heads. They're the seat goes down. They're all over the place. And I just thought it was funny. And then before they have sex in the car, she's singing this ridiculous song and doesn't know it just made me think of me as a teenager. You're awkward, but you're laughing, but you kind of like the person. So you kid, I just thought it was a good scene. I don't know. I mean, it's not hard to act that, right? You're not really talking much, but you're moving and you're pretending to have sex. But I just thought it was funny. I was like, that's a lot of times you'll see sex scenes in a car, and it's that's not really how a fucking person looks. Whereas with them, like, it was just so disheveled. I was like, that's believable.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good scene. I liked it. And then, because it's like that awkward, like, teenage, like, I don't know. I just liked it.
Sure. Like, okay, but that's also been done before. But again, this is coming from somebody who's watched an ungodly amount of
you watch like 1,000 movies. Like,
yeah. Well, 2,050. But yes,
Jesus Christ.
You know what? Fuck you, okay? All right. If I wanted to know all the beauty brands that you use, I'll come right to you, okay? You want to know movies?
Like
you come to me.
I've only used like 2.
Don't you sell beauty stuff? Like what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, why don't you just give them like cream, Kim? Like, here's some cream. Anyway, I don't. Whatever.
You really sucked at that comeback.
I know. I'm tired.
No, I'm sorry, but no, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought too, I did think the ending was a little like kind of stupid, like cheesy, but I did like how at the end she did the restaurant after the mother, because his mother really was a mother figure to her, and I think I liked that dynamic of it.
But the dynamic is, it was 30 seconds of the movie, and they just played it back at the end. Like, I think, okay.
Yeah, but like, it was enough for me to get it. Like,
right.
I at the beginning, I understood that, like, her parents were never around because they were just, like, hardworking people that owned a store, and they couldn't be there for her, and she was always alone. So she navigated to her neighbor, who happens to be this sweet little boy that's the same age as her, and his parents are, parents that are present, so she would spend all her time there.
Right.
And then, she learned to just love the mother, and then the mother dies, and and two, I think almost in a way, and I mean, I don't know, maybe that's just me being too in depth with the movie, but maybe like the mother kind of broke them apart. The mother dying kind of like broke them apart a little bit, and then they kind of went their separate ways, and he was scared of change, and she grew.
I get that to a certain extent, but you know what? I think I want this dynamic done a lot better, because I just did not like the comedy at all in this. But if they were to grow that aspect a lot more than they did, I probably would have found a little more enjoyment in that. But that really just makes for like a few minutes of the movie. You still have the comedy with the wooden characters. You have the dialogue that I just did not find witty or funny at all in this.
See, I didn't find it like super funny, but I found it witty. Like, I thought it was fun. Like, some of the band members were really funny. Like, I
thought they were the most annoying characters.
Oh, I thought they were so funny with the guy that was like, he's like, you don't even notice I lost like 100 pounds or something. And then at the end,
I don't care.
He said something funny about like his suit. I can't even remember what he said, but it was funny. And then I do like her assistant. I don't know if it's her assistant or that runs the restaurant with her. I thought she was kind of funny. I don't know. I think maybe it's like when we reviewed Field of Dreams, I was just reading way too much into it, and I think you're reading way too much into this movie.
Oh, ooh, fighting words. Look, if the comedy worked, I don't think I would be as hard up at having more in-depth characters or a more fleshed out dynamic with the family dynamic. I think if I liked the comedy, I would have liked the movie just fine and been like, okay, it's a lighthearted kind of throwaway movie, 3 stars, okay, cool. But because I don't like it, I'm trying to search for other things that I could enjoy from the movie, and those things are very small and minute. Yes, I like the dad in this movie. Like, I think he was kind of cute, and he was kind of charming in his own way. I do like Randall Park in the movie, even though I liked
how the dad finally was like, you need to fucking go live your life. Like,
right.
Like, he's like, what do you mean you're my caregiver? Like, stop, like, holding me back. Like, stop using me as an excuse to not, like, live your life.
Right, which a lot of this stuff has been done before, which, again, fine. That is perfectly fine. You can retread those same things and make it a little more interesting or do a different twist with it. And the movie doesn't do that. The movie just goes on those same things and it relies on its wittiness and its dialogue to carry it. And for me, it didn't. It just, to me, it was just like, ugh, God, I don't find any of this funny.
And that's fine.
Yeah, and that's fine. That is perfectly fine. And it's perfectly fine for you to enjoy it. It just means you have lesser taste than I do.
Oh my God, screw you. Go fuck yourself.
That's the movie snob coming out.
Yeah, it is, you fucking douche.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm kidding. But that's just the way it is with this type of thing. Like, if this was a much more, like, I get more pushback when I say I'm not a big fan of the Shawshank Redemption, to be completely honest, and I have my reasons
I
why.
like that movie, but I got sick of that movie really quickly.
Way too long is my issue.
It's very long.
Way too long.
Yeah, I think I watched it, like, again, that's another movie that's, like, always on TV. So, like, I just will flip on the TV and it's on, and I'll be like, all right, I guess I'll just watch it from this part, because if I watch it from the beginning, it's, like, fucking, like, 4 hours, and I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
I mean, I like the movie, but
I do too.
I just got sick of it
But,
after.
like,
I'm like, all right, I'm done.
But Shawshank Redemption is the #1 rated movie on IMDb.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh.
But you want to know what #2 is? And
What?
okay, the #2 is The Dark Knight.
Really?
Yes. And then #3 I think is The Godfather, which I look at that and go, what is wrong with you people? It's like, wait a minute.
I still have never seen the whole movie of The Godfather.
Like Stone Cold classics, films that help break the mold of what films are today, are like in the hundreds and 200s. But a Batman movie is #2.
Yeah, I would
I'm
not rate that as #2 movie ever.
I like The Dark Knight. Don't get me wrong.
I saw it in the theater and I liked it, but no, it's not like even in my top 10.
Same here. Like, it's not even my favorite of that trilogy. And I tell people, like, it's good, but it's a good one of those movies. It's not one of those. It's not a movie that I sit there and go, people need to see this. Because if I'm talking to somebody who's not a comic book fan or doesn't like action, I'm not going to look at it. Or
didn't even grow up in the time of when, like, Batman was first created. Like,
well, no one is now. They're all dead at this point.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, when it was really big, like, really big.
Sure. But, like, I like The Dark Knight. It's a good movie. But better than The Godfather? No. Better than Chinatown? No. It's nowhere near those movies. That a lot of people are IMDb. They go see that movie, rate it 10 stars, leave, and don't do anything else. It was my feeling of what happens. Like, oh, perfect movie, 10 stars, boom. And then there's a lot of votes for that movie, but then the other movies that, like, older movies or what are more well-respected, they are like, oh, this is so overrated, people don't know what they're talking about, my shtick on that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to get into final thoughts?
Let's do it.
All right, go right ahead. Final thoughts on Always Be My Baby. Go ahead, Kim.
I'm giving it a 3. I'm giving it a solid 3 because I truly did enjoy it. I thought that I took the movie for just what it was, which was kind of almost like a fluff piece. I felt like it was just simple, not a long, drawn-out movie. Yes, maybe it's been done before, as you said, but maybe it's nice to see it again, right? Maybe it's nice to have that same female type of bonding movie that's safe, predictable, kind of just like relaxing for the female brain when you've had a tough week.
Yes, the female brain.
Shut up! And you just put it on and you just relax and have a glass of wine and watch it with your girlfriends and talk to your friend on the phone while, after you see it, and talk about how, oh, they were so cute together and da-da-da-da-da. It's just a simple romantic comedy that is somewhat witty, and I think women would enjoy it. I don't think men would enjoy this movie. I think this is definitely a female-based movie that you watch when you are just wanting to put something on to relax and not have to think too much into it. And that's why I gave it a 3, because that's what it did for me.
Okay, so as a guy who actually likes romantic comedies unabashedly and doesn't look at this as ironically, I'm giving it a 1. And the reason...
Wow, a 1?
Yeah. I thought 1.5, but I'm going to give it a 1, really. The actors, I think, are good with what they have, but the writing really hamstrings them with what they can do. And yes, I get that it's a fluffy, kind of comfortable romantic comedy, but what makes those comfortable is that the things that they're going for works. And it just didn't work with me in this. I didn't find the comedy very funny. I didn't find the characters very witty. I didn't find a lot of the dialogue and the jokes that you're supposed to laugh at very funny. I just think it all fell flat. Now, there are some charming aspects to this movie, but they mean very little to the movie itself, such as the family dynamic, the father, the dynamic between the main characters. They don't explore it that much in this movie. All it is witty comedy. Here's a witty one-liner. Here's a witty one-liner. Oh, let me give this a sarcastic snapback, and then boom, here we go. And none of it landed for me. And that's
fair.
That's fair, and that's fine. It might land for some others. It might not for me. It might land for some others. That's perfectly fine. But for me, I just sat there watching the movie, not wishing
you were
that...
watching the clock is what you were watching.
To a certain extent, yes. I wasn't watching going, oh my God, when is it over? I was just watching it dead-faced going, yep, okay. And then the whole Keanu Reeves thing, I think, was just, it just fell flat for me. I
thought it was so dumb that it was funny. That's
right.
how I thought of it. Yeah.
So 1 star from me for Always Be My Maybe.
3 stars for me.
Yeah, well, you know.
Hey, this is why we do this, right?
I know.
Everyone has a different perspective and opinion.
And mine just means very much less because you just was like, I just think
this
you're
is
just
a girl
thinking about this
movie.
wrong. I just think that
you're a male, so get out of here.
You're just you're just not in the right perspective.
You're not in the right.
You don't have enough estrogen, so you don't understand. You try being a woman. I'm like, yeah,
seriously.
Okay, whatever. But anyway, 1 star from me.